Hello, in this video I am going to show you the radio button. So the radio button, unlike the checkbox, can have only one selected at a time. So you essentially have a group of radio buttons, and only one of them can be selected. With a checkbox, you could have multiple checkboxes and they are independent of the other checkbox. So for example, I've left this checkbox and text item here to add a radio button. Really simple. Add it in any way that you want to, whether it's an array of children or directly as a child. Process is exactly the same. And you just do radio. And a few properties that we actually, absolutely need in here. But before we do them, we need to create an integer, integer group, and we can call it 1. The actual group value doesn't matter as long as you keep track of it accordingly. And this will be the group of a set of radio buttons, so it allows you, to keep track. So if you select one, you'll deselect, the other current one in that group. So in here, we need to set a value to something. This is basically what that, radio button represents. So I'm just going to say 1. Just keep it simple. Then we need to have group value. And this is going to be this, the group. So I'm going to say group right here. And a few other properties. I recommend as an extra task that you modify the active color, but we're going to be dealing with onChange. So in onChange, we need to put t, and this is essentially just a template variable, which just means that the value could be a number, it could be a string, it doesn't matter. So it's it's pretty flexible. And onChange, we are going to first of all just print t so we can see what's happening. Then we need to do set state. The reason we need to do this, without this, the checkboxes, the radio buttons will not get selected properly. So in here, we need to say that group equals t, and that's it. So if I was to duplicate this, and the only thing I'm going to change is the value. So this is another radio button. Now actually I'll go a step further and add another one. So it's 1, 2, and 3. So those are 3 different radio buttons, but the rest of it stays the same. If it's part of the same radio group, then you keep the same group value, you keep the same unchanged. So if I hot reload this, as you can see, we've got 3 radio buttons. The first one selected. If I select the second one, it prints out 2. And you also notice the first one's deselected. If I press the first one, second one's deselected, and it prints out 1. If I select the third one, same thing, it prints out 3. If I select the third one again, it doesn't change any value because it hasn't changed. And 2, this doesn't go off. So 1 will always be on at any given time. So that's the difference between a radio button, and a checkbox. And you will most logically have some sort of text, as I've got here next to the checkbox, for each radio button, so the user knows what each radio button represents. You'll probably have these maybe in sort of a column form. I recommend as an extra task that you put them in a column form and add a text widget next to each one so you can provide some extra information. If you have any questions, feel free to pop me a message. And as usual, I look forward to seeing you in the next video.